I'm here with Matt Pirro. A lot of you guys, I posted questions on social media this week. A lot of you guys sent me some great questions for Matt, so he's going to answer them today for you. Just a little background about Matt. In high school, he was a two-time first-team All-State player, two-time New York State Player of the Year runner-up, CNY Pitcher of the Year. He was a two-time Under Armour All-American, a preseason All-American, and he also was on the 18U Team USA roster and played for the New York Yankees in East Coast Pro Showcase. He also pitched 4 years at Wake Forest. His senior year, he went 7-4 with a strikeout per inning. He won at Florida State, Clemson, and he went on to be drafted in the 21st round of the MLB draft by the Washington Nationals, where he spent 2 years. So, Matt, thanks for joining the vlog.
Take 20.
Take 20. All right. So, guys, I'm going to run through some of your questions. So I'm going to paraphrase some of these because obviously some of you guys need to go to school and learn how to spell. So, first question from Johnny Jones _128 on Snapchat. He asks, I hear a lot of coaches talk about hip-shoulder separation. What does it mean, and is it crucial to throwing harder? And he asked for drills, but I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this isn't really the environment to go over drills, being in a classroom.
We can't really go over it, but yeah, just talk about hip-shoulder separation, how it's important, I guess. What do you think about it?
Hip-shoulder separation, dependent on the person, is extremely important. A lot of guys that do throw hard have very good hip-shoulder separation, but a lot of that can be achieved in the weight room. So getting with somebody like Alex can definitely aid that, and it's something that I saw in college take a big spike for me, was implementing that into our daily routines.
Okay, good. Yeah, a couple of you guys asked for grips. You guys asked for curveball and changeup grips. Matt doesn't throw a curveball, so he throws what'd you say, spike?
A spike break.
Yeah, so he can't really show you. He could show you a curveball grip, but he said you can look that up. He can't really help you out there if he doesn't throw one. I want to give you guys good information, so we don't really want to overstep our boundaries here. So my next question came from Tonester5 on Twitter. He asks, he said he's in the process of teaching his son how to throw a circle change. He asked for like the proper mechanics to throw an effective one, or what would be?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's not so much about the grip. It's more about how you hold it in your hand. The biggest thing about throwing a changeup is being relaxed, throwing it like a fastball. And if you can see the whites of your knuckles, I don't know if you can see it in the video, your hands are too far spread out. You want to keep it relaxed, you want to be nice and loose with it. But the biggest thing that helped me was thinking about it like you're painting. Your arm naturally pronates when you let go of a baseball. So if you're thinking about it like you're painting and your hands going up and down, your arm will naturally pronate and get the right rotation and spin on the ball. And it's just a mental thing and being able to kind of coach yourself through it. But definitely keep up with it.
Okay, good. Mitchell on Snapchat was asking a lot about weighted balls. A lot of you guys asked me about weighted balls. We use them here. I like them. So he asked what Matt's stance on weighted balls is. And another question, I guess I know he asked me about, he saw somebody throw weighted balls before they pitched. What's your stance on that?
I'm definitely a pro weighted ball guy. Got into it big time my senior year at Wake Forest. Can't really go over what we did there, but it was very similar to the drive line program over there with those guys. As to doing it before a game, not so much weighted balls, but more so plyo care and just kind of activating the shoulder and getting the arm going and kind of preparing it to take on that day of throwing.
Stancil17 on Instagram asks, what's your stance on Voodoo Floss post-throwing for the arm? Now, I used Voodoo Floss on my ankle before. I love it. Obviously, it drives blood flow to the joint, but I've never used it on my arm, so I'm just wondering what you think on that.
Yeah, me personally, I've never used it, never been into it, but I do know when done properly, it has helped guys, and guys I know use it all the time. But the only thing I would caution is making sure that somebody that's doing it to you knows what they're doing and has experience doing it previously.
Yeah, exactly. You guys can mess that up if you don't have somebody that knows what they're doing on that. Okay, so Ethan34 Dyer on Instagram asks, I'm a freshman on a team with 13 seniors. Through 9 games, I haven't thrown an inning or even warmed up during a game. What should I do this spring to work on, given that I will likely only throw a single-digit inning? Now, this is I mean, this is common for a lot of guys, and it's probably more so dependent on what they need.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, probably you can talk more on that. Probably strength, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest thing that I would do would be take advantage of the downtime, take advantage of not playing. I know it's tough and I know it's not fun, but take advantage of it and get stronger. Get in the weight room, build yourself up, try to get some arm strength going, and if you put the time in, you do the right things, you get with the right coach, hopefully that will turn around.
Definitely. Okay. James on Snapchat asked, what should a pre-throwing routine consist of for a starter and a reliever? Like, what's different, I guess? I mean, I guess that's dependent on the guy, but...
Yeah, it's dependent on the guy, dependent on the situation, whether it's a high school game, a college game, a pro game. It's totally dependent of, the situation that you're in. The biggest thing I will say is the biggest part of throwing is being able to know your body, know your arm, and being able to kind of feel what you need to do that day. And a routine will kind of take place once you start to understand your body a little bit more, and that just comes with throwing and getting experience doing it and getting out there every day and playing catch. I know for me, I was a big long toss guy. I felt my best when I got a good long toss in. It wasn't necessarily always a max long toss day, but stretching it out, getting the shoulder capsule loose was definitely what was best for me.
Actually, I have a question. So would you, when you say max long toss, would you ever go 100% long toss like during the season, or would you do different days? Would you do like 70% intent one day, 100% intent the other day?
Truthfully, it was all about how I felt that day. If I felt great, I aired it out. I tried to build up some more arm strength. If I didn't feel good that day, toned it down a little bit, didn't get out to the max distance, and just kind of went on base. In all seriousness, it was based on how I felt that day.
Okay. Hudson Graham on Instagram asked for like what you did during, if you remember, what you did during the week at Wake. Kind of like I guess what would you do and prepare for your Friday night start? Like, how would you go through it? I guess again, this is probably dependent on him, what his body needs, obviously, but kind of like take us through your week, like lifting wise. They probably scheduled your lifts?
Oh yeah, at Wake we got after it pretty heavy. My senior year we lifted 3 to 4 times a week. One of those days, if say we ended up doing 4 that week, it would have been a mobility day, so it was more just to get some blood flow going, kind of get your body loose, get rid of some of the soreness that you might have built up from that previous game. But truthfully, for me, it was how I felt, and it was about long tossing and kind of just stretching everything out, getting everything prepared. If I didn't feel good, you didn't stretch it out too far. If I felt good, I pushed it. Totally comes back to what we just talked about with the previous question and how you feel, knowing your body, and attacking things properly.
Okay. Yep. So the other another question came in asking about, like, pretty much the kid was saying he already has elite arm speed, which a lot of kids are just blessed with elite arm speed. Matt threw hard. You said you were just talking about this. He said he threw upper 80s, low 90s in high school, but he didn't really take off till he started really training hard. And this kid was asking, Nick on Snapchat was asking, like, I already throw 88 to 90. Why do I need to train? Which was kind of a dumb question, really. I mean, you obviously just talk a little bit about how important strength was to improving velocity. Because I talk about it all the time, but here's a perfect example of someone that threw harder from, you can talk about it from a proper strength program.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it makes all the difference in the world. Obviously, some guys are just naturally gifted where they can do things, and most people can't. If you feel that way, maybe you don't want it bad enough. I know I wasn't happy being 88 to 90. I know I wanted more than that for myself. And I know that when I looked at guys across the country, they did more than that. And so if you want to elevate your game, obviously including a strength coach like Alex or wherever your situation dictates, it's only going to make you better. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get some rapid fire. Did you look at these before?
I did.
You did? All right, well, he looked at them, but it's all right. All right, so we got Mason on Snapchat. First glove as a kid that you love the most?
Probably my dad's old Rawlings from when he played. Had that thing for a really long time.
Okay. Did you use that in Little League? I played Little League with Matt too, guys. You didn't know that.
We did. Little League, Babe Ruth, travel ball.
Yeah,
did it all.
Played for a while. All right. Go-to walkout. George on Snapchat asks.
Sunshine by Metasaya.
Okay. Pre-game snack. Connor on Snapchat. That's what he asked. What's your favorite pre-game snack?
Probably PB&J. Keep it simple.
Noah on Instagram, favorite baseball memory.
Probably would be getting drafted.
Okay. And Ryan on Snapchat asked the best question of the day. Could he strike out Alex Simone? Me. That's me, guys. I know what he's going to say, but...
I really shouldn't even have to answer this.
Okay,
But it's already happened too many times.
No. Believe it or not, I've never faced you.
That's definitely a lie.
No, I've never faced you.
That's got to be a lie.
I haven't. I swear to God, I've never faced you, ever. Never. Because I wouldn't remember. All the teams we played on, maybe in Little League, but like when he was older, I never faced him in high school, ever. All right. Well,
The CBA was so bad.
yeah, okay. We're getting into high school now, guys. All right, so hopefully, Matt, I think Matt provided a lot of value to you guys today, answered your questions. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next week.